Hello Trade Pros, it's Victor from TRADEPRO Academy, and today we're going to be talking about a massive change that TRADEPRO underwent recently. So it's not my hair. Yes, I did just cut it all off. You guys remember I had super long luscious hair, and now we got this. Drop a comment. How do you like this new do? But in a more serious note, we're going to be talking about order flow. Why we switched our order flow providers from FlowAlgo to Quant Data. As you may have already guessed from the title, that is going to be what this whole video is going to be about. We're going to give you a little quick tour of Quant Data at the end, but mainly I want to give you guys an honest review of the two and let you guys decide, but we're going to give you a special offer at the end as well in terms of our newfound family and friends at Quant Data. So let's drop off and get into this intro first, and we'll see what we have to say. So now that we've gone through the intro, I want to make sure that you guys are paying attention and hitting that subscribe button to make sure that we hit that 60,000 mark of followers so we can go live with you guys and show you what these options and futures rooms have to offer. Now, if you ding that little bell to notify you when we drop videos like these and go live, we'd much appreciate and drop a like. Again, comments down below, what do you think of the hair? But in a more serious note, comments down below, what flow tool do you use? So as we dive into this video, there are a few important things to talk about. Number one, what is order flow first and foremost? Why do we have to have an order flow provider? Number two, we're going to be talking a little bit about FlowAlgo and prior videos that we've done about them and what our thoughts were on them. And finally, the introduction of Quant Data, and I'm going to give you a little sneak peek here behind me. You guys can see on the screen, just over the shoulder, we've got Quant Data present. Now, first and foremost, what is order flow? Now, order flow is an amazing tool that all options traders need to realize that they should follow, and they need some sort of order flow tool. So order flow is the ability to follow what the smart money is doing by being able to see what big money, institutional money is purchasing or selling in terms of calls and puts. If they are linked to different positions, what kind of spreads they make up, dark pool orders. Basically what order flow is, it gives you the raw data of the options contracts. Now remember, the options contracts in themselves allow stock prices to actually make moves up and down because they are used as a hedge mechanism by market makers. So keep that in mind. If you see order flow for, I don't know, let's say $10 million in Microsoft calls, that means that a hedged position on the market maker front must be an equivalent amount of shares purchased in Microsoft. So these order flow tools have the direct impact of driving prices up or down, and you could only discern that based on an order flow tool just like Quant Data. So we'll talk to you guys about what these services have to offer and how you can manage that flow and look for specific tools within that flow to make you a better options trader. Now, secondly, we should talk about FlowAlgo. Now, FlowAlgo was a platform that we used. We made a very successful video here on YouTube about FlowAlgo, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know about FlowAlgo. It's a very common order flow tool used on the internet and by retail traders maybe. And what FlowAlgo does is provide us order flow, as you guys may have seen in the video, and they just drop like calls, puts, calls, puts, calls, puts on the main dashboard. Now they also provide dark pool data. They provide other tools as well. They provide dark pool histograms. They provide charting software. They do provide a lot of levels, unusual options flow, some filters, but not many. Now, why we decided to change from FlowAlgo had nothing to do with Quant Data at first. Now, Quant Data, amazing platform, we'll talk about that soon, but FlowAlgo, what I had noticed was a multitude of issues from Flow. Now, the main issue that I noticed at the beginning was that the flow would come in a little more delayed. So you can see the spot price and the time at which the flow comes in, and I personally am interested in something called sweeps, and those sweeps are aggressive orders that go through any exchange. Think of it as an aggressive market order. Now, I'm interested in mainly some sweeps. So sweeps could be just put in for day trades, right? You can have hundreds of thousands of dollars in a position just for a day trade, right? There are some whales out there, and it's good to know when exactly they're coming in without a delay. Now, FlowAlgo, I noticed that provide that information with a multitude-minute delay when the move had already been complete. So it showed me a spot price, for example, on Apple at 146, and by the time that flow came in, Apple is at 146.60. So it's already made a 60-cent move, which could be a very profitable opportunity. So that was my main concern with FlowAlgo, right? The delay in the actual data didn't seem to really fit my needs, right? It's okay if you're looking for more of a swing position and identifying that flow, but overall, if you're day trading, that's not how it's supposed to be done. Now, the second thing that I noticed with FlowAlgo was that FlowAlgo seems to quote unquote filter the data so that you're only seeing the buy side of puts and calls. Now, this doesn't paint the full picture, and it does seem like the filter is more on the inaccurate side. So that was an issue when we saw multiple calls come in, seemingly bought, while the stock itself would either go nowhere or get sold because they were a part of a larger position. Now, Sarah was the one that noticed this because we do use a different platform that allows us to see both sides of the trade, and if it's a spread, whatever it may be, if it's directionless. So with that being said, FlowAlgo's information wasn't entirely unfiltered as it should have been, if you will. So it's either that the filter was inaccurate or the flow itself wasn't filtered well, right? So there is a mix of the two. So that became an issue as well. For example, if I saw repeat sweeps coming into a certain asset, then the expectations were for it to go up or down depending on if it's puts or calls. Now, FlowAlgo failed to do that many times over because the filter wasn't exactly explained, right? There are some filters where you can filter for unusual volume, sweeps, blocks, whatever it is, but the core in the position itself, seeing if it's above ask or below bid, was not there. So one of the final things that I noticed is I didn't really like the dark pool data that they offered. Yeah, dark pools are hard to discern if they're buys or sells, but the dark pool data that was coming in also didn't really seem to paint the full picture. And not to mention, finally, with FlowAlgo, it was more on the expensive side. It was around like $120 a month. And for the things that it did and didn't do, it didn't really seem like it was worth that price point, right? There was a lot of mismatching and unfiltering that kind of drew me away. Now, there are some people that swear by FlowAlgo and that like to use it, but when we came across different platforms, they painted a better picture. Now, Quant Data being that different platform. Now, Quant Data, on the other hand, one of the main things that I really like about Quant Data is that we have seen the accuracy of buying and selling, right, within the actual dashboard itself. So if there is repeat sweeps being bought on Roku, which is exactly how we pinpointed Roku and Facebook late July, that is what I want to see because the price continued moving up at that point, and I could see very clearly that these calls were bought above ask, right? They had that filter option in them. Now, speaking of filters, FlowAlgo did not allow me to filter any of the positions based on what I wanted to, so that was a big no-no for me, while Quant Data allows me to do any kind of filter I want. Premium size, I can filter above ask, at ask, below bid, at bid, whatever it may be. Now, that allows me to see the more aggression coming in on the buy side. So that's super important to me as a day trader. Now, the other thing that FlowAlgo didn't do that Quant Data does is provide the accurate time in which these sweeps or calls or puts come in, the options order flow comes in. Now, Quant Data provides very accurate on time from what I've noticed, even if it's 30 seconds faster than FlowAlgo, allows for day traders to really benefit from that speed at which it comes into. Now, not only the speed, but the filtering is super important. The fact that Quant Data provides you with raw data and you can filter it the way that you want and break it down however you want is amazing. They also provide a dark pool filter, which allows you to their best estimate, guess that if the dark pool order is a buy or a sell. So that is super important as well. Now, Quant Data also provides a much cheaper price point, in which we will discuss very shortly. But I want to do something different, and I'm going to jump over to my screen here, and we're going to take a look at what Quant Data really has to offer, and I'll break down some of my favorite aspects as a day trader. All right, trade pros, we've jumped into the screen here, and we're back at the computer, and I want to show you guys Quant Data in its entirety here. So we've talked it up a decent bit, and I still want to say that Quant Data is probably the simplest, most effective order flow tool that we've come by so far. And all the issues that we had with FlowAlgo were seemingly gone once we just configured this the way we liked it. So it's not as easy as jumping in and just looking at this and saying, okay, like now I know how to trade with Flow. You still have to learn a few tools. You have to learn how to use it. You have to learn how to navigate through it and how to set up your filters. Now, Quant Data offers the unfiltered data, like I said, and if we can go into these quick filters here, I just want to show you guys. This is the main dashboard. You can see all these calls and puts coming in. Now on FlowAlgo, I doubt that they would come in like this or as many. As you can see, there was a lot of call buying at the end here for the larger names and the equities. So if I go into my quick filters, I can create a filter group here. I can create my own filter group, right? And I can save those filters, which is amazing. Now, typically what I want to do with my filters is I can change it to tickers. I can change it to whatever it is, show only golden sweeps, whatever it may be, right? I can reset filters and go back to nothing. Now, if I go into my filter groups, I can also create a filter group, right? So if I want to create this filter group, and I'll call it day trading. Right, so description, I don't really need one, but type, options order flow, I'm going to keep it like that, and then create filter group. Now, through this filter group, I can add filters here, and I can go contract type, operator is, and then I can do calls, right? Maybe I want to do something else, open interest, options price, premium, size, whatever it may be, right? So I typically like to go, like, let's say premium is... like even if you put like 100,000, right, that's going to be a good premium. So if I add another filter here, for example, I can make it volume, trade side, whatever it is. So if I do trade side and I want to make sure that it's only buying or most likely buying, I'll go above ask, right? And then I can save that filter. So once I've created that, you'll see that it starts populating my page, and we've activated it here. So one is 100,000, the other one I believe is 50,000 here. So let's see if I bring that up. We can see what we had saw earlier today, right, with the 50,000. So the 100,000, it's after hours, so it's probably not registering anything, but that's how we create a super, super simple filter group. And you can see here, guys, when calls and puts started coming into different things. Now, if I scroll all the way to the beginning, right, of the day, I don't know if I can do that necessarily. It might take me some time. But this is all great unfiltered data that we saw throughout the day. I just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling here. So we've come in the first minute of trading. We have triple Q, Tesla, SPY, Apple puts, right, in the first, just pure first minute, and that was the initiation of a lot of the sell side. So the put side was pretty heavy volume, and from there, what we saw throughout the majority of the day, if we look at this, if we just look at SPY, for example, if we look at SPY from the beginning of the day, the vast majority we saw was just a lot of puts, right? Above ask puts, right? The calls are there here and there, but number one, they're on much weaker premium. Number two, the premium of the puts eclipses, and the number of puts eclipses that of the SPY calls. Now, into the end of the day, you can see a lot of SPY being bought, and here you can see the top gainers in terms of premium. Now, there's a lot to dive into, and we're going to make special videos about that, but we just wanted to introduce to you guys Quant Data and why we made that switch. Now, there were a plethora of reasons why we ran away from FlowAlgo and geared towards Quant Data, and the main reason was the filtering and the possibility of seeing that raw data in real time without real delays, noticeable delays at least. So to wrap this up, in terms of order flow platforms, the ability to filter for what you want is a game changer for day traders. So not only that, but the data is reliable. Not to mention Quant Data is a lot cheaper than FlowAlgo. So we have actually recently partnered with Quant Data, and we have created a unity between the two of us as options traders and Quant Data as the options providers of this amazing data. And for that, we have a discount through Quant Data, which is originally $100 a month. For the first 3 months, you can get it for around $59.95, I believe, $60 a month for the first 3 months, with the link in our description here for Quant Data. And after those 3 months, you don't go back to paying $100 a month. You go back to paying $75 a month. And again, remember, hit that link in the description. In comparison to FlowAlgo, this is a lot cheaper. FlowAlgo is upwards of $120, $125 a month just for unfiltered, kind of wonky, delayed data. So this is why we switched. And right now we can offer you one of the best prices for Quant Data you guys can find on the internet. So with that being said, remember, hit that link in the description. If you like this video, and there's going to be many more of these, we're going to talk to you guys about day trading with Quant Data, how to day trade with Quant Data, how to set up these TRADEPRO filters, and what else to look for on this platform. We're going to go through a walkthrough and all that stuff. So keep in touch and you will see those videos coming out shortly. Thank you, everyone. Remember to subscribe, like, hit that comment section, and we'll see you guys next time.